Today we're going to be going over an unusual topic. Not something that many of you, I'm sure, expected to see from me. But today, as a PhD scientist, I will be uncovering what I have been researching for the last 5 years. And this all centers around one man. His name is Gibraltar. Hi everyone. I am Jameson, a PhD professor, and I will be uncovering my long and in-depth research and data mining into the Apex Legends database. Today, I will be telling you guys about all of my research and my conclusions, and I am sorry to say that I have uncovered Gibraltar is not the man that we all think he is. My research has uncovered something far beyond anything that I could have ever imagined or hoped to find when I started. But what I did find will blow your mind, and as far as I know, I am the only person to uncover this hidden truth and fact about Gibraltar. But I ask you all to watch and hear me out and stick around to the end so that you can hear about this crazy discovery and how I came to it. And as it turns out, through all my research, I have uncovered something about Gibraltar that no one else knows about. He is a cannibal. So let's start with going into how I found this out. We should first go over what we know about Gibraltar, as any true PhD scientist would. If we go on Apex Legends and go into his bio, we get a pretty straightforward description of Gibraltar. Makoa Gibraltar, age 32, homeworld Solus. We have a little description that states how he is a gentle giant with a wild side, the son of two Saras. Gibraltar is like a rock. They can try to move him, and he'll just smile and laugh. If only you all knew how much of a wild side Gibraltar truly has. Well, let's start with how I came to this conclusion. It all started when I decided to begin my research process when I searched for Gibraltar. As my research uncovered, Gibraltar is actually a place located in Europe, and it looks a little bit like this. That got me thinking, is there really such a straightforward story for Gibraltar? Is this really all there is to him? Just a friendly, happy-go-lucky guy? If you know people, like I know people, as a PhD scientist, then you know that's not the whole story. As we look deeper into this, we scroll into Gibraltar, and we see an octopus house. Now this seems pretty legitimate, and I cruised around the area of Gibraltar to see if I could uncover anything questionable. I unfortunately didn't cover much on this search, finding bars and eateries, but nothing out of the ordinary. That was until I explored the nature part of it. And though it may seem strange to you at the time, this particular patch of forest right here particularly got my interest, and I'll explain why, and we will come back to it momentarily. I next decided to actually define and figure out, for the people that don't know, what Gibraltar means. Then decided to search and see if Gibraltar, as a word itself, had some sort of hidden meaning or something we could get from it. But as I looked, I had trouble finding anything of use. As my research soon uncovered, it turned out that the Muslim commander Tariq ibn Ziyad captured Gibraltar in 711, and the site was thereafter held as a fortress by all of its successive occupiers. And then it was permanently ended by the Spanish in 1462, and Isabella I annexed Gibraltar to Spain in 1501. But in 1704, during the War of the Spanish Succession, Sir George Rooke captured Gibraltar for the British, and Spain formally ended it to Britain under the terms of the Treaty of Utrecht in 1713. The Spanish nevertheless made several attempts to retake Gibraltar from Britain, most notably in a protracted but unsuccessful military siege that lasted from 1779 to 1783. So, what everyone is probably wondering is, what does this tell us, and what is the point of this research? And does this lead us anywhere? Well, it does, because this tells us that Gibraltar has had a history of fighting and turmoil before the British secured it. So if we had one key word to describe this, it could be violence. So this then led me to have a deep search into the nature of violence in itself. And as it turns out, the definition of violence is behavior involving physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. So then, as my completely accurate and legitimate degree would tell me is we can now make the correlation that violence equals Gibraltar. If Gibraltar from Apex is named after Gibraltar in Europe, and if Gibraltar in Europe was connected to violence, therefore Gibraltar equals violence. It's just science, people. And now comes the question, what does this tell us? We've now made the correlation that violence equals Gibraltar, and that in fact he is not everything that Respawn has led us to believe. But now we will dive further into this. As it turns out, I was perusing around and discovered cannibalism is in fact a form of violence. Now this blew my mind further. And what does this tell us? This tells us the very scary truth that cannibalism can equal violence. And if violence equals the Gibraltar in Europe, then the Gibraltar in Europe equals cannibalism with Gibraltar in Apex Legends. So we made this discovery, but can we actually uncover anything about this? Can we have any type of verifiable proof? Because, as I'm sure you guys are aware, unless you can present some facts, it might as well be nothing. But as it turns out, I do actually have evidence to support this connection. And it comes in the form of the previously mentioned spot on Google Maps in Gibraltar in the forest. So we again take a look at this spot that I found very suspicious, located right about here in Gibraltar. The reason why this piqued my interest and why I soon came back to it is because we made the association that violence equals Gibraltar in Europe. And if violence equals to Gibraltar in Europe, I thought, where does violence take place at? Where does a lot of violence happen? And it can happen anywhere. But one thing that I noticed when you think about it, when you watch a horror movie, where is the first place you always hear people try to put the body? They bury it in the forest. Now, by this point, I was pretty convinced. I've made a groundbreaking discovery that Gibraltar is in fact a cannibal, and I was about to release this news when people told me that I had to stop looking into this, that it was going nowhere, that I was wasting my life and years of my time trying to figure this out. But I would prove them all wrong, and for that, I needed cold, hard proof. So for that, I would have to travel to this exact spot and look for something to prove my theory. My theory was that if indeed I am right to all this, Respawn will have hidden some kind of hidden message in this forest. And if I can find it, I think it will tell us all the truth. So now, without further ado, I have nothing left but to go to Gibraltar in Europe and find this hidden message. And we will discover what we can find out. Let's do it. Hi everyone. I apologize for the poor video quality, but I'm taking this from my phone. I'm about to go to Gibraltar to prove my theory that Gibraltar is a cannibal in Apex Legends. I'm almost finished packing. As you can see, we're all loaded up and ready to go. Let's do this. Alright guys, I made it to Gibraltar. I've been searching for several weeks now. I was about to give up and go home, but I finally found something, boys. It was a lot of work, and I was starting to doubt, if I really made the right choice with my degree, if I couldn't even make such simple discoveries. But now, I finally did it. The proof of all my hard work, the evidence I was looking for. I found it, guys. A note. I haven't opened it yet, but I think this is what we're looking for. I'm gonna wait till I get back to the studio and we're gonna take a look at it. Alright guys, I'm back. I'm back with the note, guys. I found it. It took a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot of prep, a lot of my massive brain from my PhD I got. Here we go. I'm gonna open it up for you guys and we're gonna see what it says. You have found our message. Congratulations. Gibraltar is in fact a cannibal from Respawn. Well, there you guys have it. I mean, I don't think I can give you more evidence than that. I mean, you should have everything you need, and I'm just so happy right now, guys. This is the accumulation of years of research, years of hard work and dedication. And I just hope this goes to show anyone that you can do anything you put your mind to. And we've uncovered this deep, dark secret that Gibraltar is in fact a cannibal.